The snow came quietly the night after Christmas, as if it didn't want to interrupt the magic that was still lingering in the house. Emma woke up late, wrapped in her new red blanket, the one that still smelled faintly of pine and wrapping paper. The world outside her window looked different, soft, white, and hushed. The usual sounds of cars and footsteps were gone, replaced by a peaceful silence that made everything feel brand new. She stretched, the warmth of the blanket a welcome contrast to the cold scene outside. The air in her room was still and cool, and she could see her breath for a moment, a tiny cloud in the morning light. The glow from the window was gentle, diffused by the thick layer of snow covering everything. It was the kind of light that made you want to stay in bed all day, but curiosity pulled her up. She tiptoed to the window, her bare feet cold against the wooden floor, and pressed her nose against the glass. The backyard was a winter wonderland. The familiar shapes of the swing set and the garden shed softened and rounded by the snow. It was a perfect, untouched canvas downstairs. Leftover Christmas lights glowed softly around the living room. The tree was still standing, ornaments slightly crooked, tinsel tangled from yesterday's excitement, empty mugs, cookie crumbs, and torn wrapping paper told the story of a very good day that had just passed. The faint smell of gingerbread and cinnamon still hung in the air, a ghost of the previous day's feast. Emma smiled, remembering the chaos and joy. Her new book was sitting on the coffee table, right where she left it before falling asleep on the sofa. The scene was a beautiful mess, a testament to family and celebration. It felt cozy and lived in, a stark contrast to the pristine, silent world outside. When Emma stepped onto the back porch, the cold air made her cheeks tingle and her breath catch in her throat. She pulled her coat tighter and tugged her hat down over her ears. Snow covered the yard like frosting on a cake. No one had walked on it yet. No footprints. No tracks. Just a perfect blank page waiting for a story to be written. The silence was incredible. It wasn't an empty silence, but a full one, thick with the weight of the snow. Even the birds were quiet. For a moment, Emma just stood there, absorbing the stillness, feeling like she was the only person awake in the entire world. It was a rare and precious feeling. She took a tentative step off the porch, and her boot sank into the deep, powdery snow with a satisfying crunch. That first step broke the spell, and a grin spread across her face. She took another, then another, creating the first path in the otherwise perfect landscape. She walked in a wide circle, looking back at the trail she was leaving behind. It was her signature on this brand new day. She scooped up a handful of snow. It was light and fluffy, almost like dust. She tossed it into the air and watched it glitter as it fell, a shower of tiny diamonds against the pale blue sky. Soon, the neighborhood came alive. Doors opened, their creaks muffled by the snow. Laughter floated through the air, carried on the crisp breeze. Kids dragged sleds out of garages, their bright colors a stark contrast to the white surroundings. Parents followed, sipping hot chocolate from travel mugs, their faces relaxed and happy. Someone across the street started building a snowman, and soon it was wearing a Santa hat left over from Christmas morning, a cheerful sentinel guarding the quiet street. The sounds were gentle, the swish of sleds, the soft thud of snowballs, the murmur of happy voices. It was the sound of a community enjoying an unexpected gift. Emma made snow angels until her coat was dusted white and her arms ached. She lay on her back, staring up at the endless sky, feeling the cold seep slowly through her clothes. She didn't mind. The flakes she had disturbed floated down around her, landing on her eyelashes. She thought about how Christmas didn't really end when the presents were opened. It lingered in moments like this, when time slowed down and everyone forgot about schedules and screens. The rush of the holidays was over, and what was left was this simple shared joy. It was a bonus day, an extra piece of magic that no one had planned for. She joined a group of kids building a snow fort, their collective efforts turning a large pile of snow into an impressive structure with walls and windows. They worked together, packing the snow. Their mittens soaked, their faces flushed with excitement. There were no arguments. Just a shared purpose and the fun of creation. They declared it their winter castle and defended it in a friendly snowball fight, their laughter echoing through the quiet afternoon. Even the adults joined in, their throws a bit wilder, their aim a bit less accurate, but their smiles just as wide. The day felt like a scene from a movie, too perfect to be real, yet it was. As the sun dipped lower, the light began to change. The pure white of the snow took on a golden hue, and then a soft pink as the sun approached the horizon. The world sparkled as if it were covered in tiny stars. The shadows grew long and blue, painting stripes across the pristine landscape. The air grew colder, and one by one, people started heading back inside, their footprints trailing behind them. The snowman in the Santa hat now stood alone, a silent witness to the day's fun, its cold smile seeming a little wider in the twilight. Emma went back inside, her fingers numb, but her heart warm. She peeled off her wet clothes and changed into a dry, cozy sweater. She curled up by the window with a cup of hot cocoa, watching the world fade into a deep blue twilight. The Christmas lights on her own house and the neighbors began to glow brighter, their colors reflecting on the snow, creating a magical, jeweled landscape. She watched the last of the daylight disappear. Feeling a deep sense of peace and contentment, she knew that this quiet snow day was the perfect final gift of Christmas. It was unexpected, simple, and shared. It wasn't about presents or grand gestures, but about the quiet beauty of the world and the warmth of community. And somehow, in its own gentle way, it felt just as special as the day before. The excitement of Christmas morning was a brilliant flash, but this was a slow, steady glow that warmed her from the inside out. It was a memory she would hold onto, a perfect end to a perfect holiday. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this quiet little story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.